What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bench Podcast. My name is Joey, joined by the faithful three here. Original recipe. Let's go, Gabe, from home of
We're not doing this.
Home of Angel. Help me out.
I'm not gonna help you.
Way
terrible.
back.
Way back Grooves.
I know it now.
Home of Way Back Grooves. Check him out on Instagram at Way Back Grooves. I'm not sure that's what it is, but check him out. I'll put his handle right there below him. Angel, of course, joining me. And then AJ back in the saddle after honestly probably all relationships being tested, fatherhood being tested. AJ moved with a pregnant wife.
Multiple trips to IKEA.
Good God. Good God, man.
Fun times.
Jeez, how's the whiskey, my friend? How's the whiskey?
Hey, we're loving it here, though. We wake up every morning like, I can't believe we got this place. So we're happy.
Good for you, man. Happy for you. Let's get into episode 192. We're 8 episodes away from episode 200. Of course, that is released on New Year's Day, which is kind of a fun thing. If you're watching here on YouTube, welcome to the channel.
Hi.
Like, subscribe, and then we're asking over the holiday season if you could please share the channel with just one person that knows, likes, has heard of football, lives in Europe, and maybe went to a game, whatever it may be. Share the channel with just one person. We'd appreciate it so much. And then if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, thanks for joining the audio version of the Bench Podcast.
Audio.
Like, subscribe, notifications, leave a review, all those things. Of course, brought to you by the Fans First Sports Network. And then follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Search at Bench Show to find us on all those different platforms. And check out benchshow.com, home of the Bench Beat, articles on fandom, fantasy, and all things NFL. All right, boys, we are on the eve of week number 15. Hard to believe that 3 weeks left. Holy crap.
Yeah.
3 weeks left of the NFL season, and still so much up in the air. Like, we're down for a wild ending here.
Yeah. Just speaking as a Bronco fan, we're playing the Colts with that number 8 seed, and after that, we're playing the Chargers, number 6 seed.
I'm
literally
hoping,
if we lose both games, we might be out of the playoff. It's crazy.
It's huge. And then with that, of course, Thursday Night Football, we saw the Rams hold it out against the Niners, which is kind of funny. Like, to kick off the fantasy playoffs, we had a 12-6 game. Kind of funny that it happened, but very important game. Rams win that one. The Niners continue to fall, and just like that, the Rams could be tied for first place if, depending on what the Packers do with the Seattle Seahawks this upcoming weekend. So a lot to go on in the NFL still. We're going to go through each and every game and pick Week 15 games. Before we do that, as usual, let's get to the news. All right, the news is brought to you by HUEGA House Hats. Use our code up here in the right-hand corner to get 15% off of that. That is, of course, a great holiday gift, great white elephant gift. It's kind of cool to give someone a hat. Like, I'm always pumped when someone gives me a hat.
Yeah, it's like a gift that's like hard to miss. Like, who doesn't like wearing hats?
I put some hats on my Elster this year.
Yeah.
I'm super confident putting them on there. I don't know if anybody got them for me, though.
Angel has a very interesting hat on his Elster.
Yeah.
The straight up cowboy hat.
Oh yeah. That's my dream. I want to be the uncle or the Theo who goes every event, wedding, everything to black cowboy.
I thought you meant like Jerry Jones Blue Star cowboy hat.
No, I want a black, matte black cowboy hat.
Like
I won't get it.
Angel shooting for the stars.
But Santa might do it for me.
You never know if you're good.
But anyway, if you want to give someone that hat, that's always fun. Let's start the news here. Texans standout safety Jalen, is it Pitre?
Pitre, yeah, Pitre.
Pitre suffered a torn pec and is done for the 2024 season. Tough loss for the Houston defense, and it really is. He's kind of a do-it-all safety. Angel, tell us a little bit about Jalen Pitre.
Yeah, wow, on spot. Jalen, third year safety, really came into his own, obviously, when DeMeco Ryans came there. Tough loss.
Out of Baylor?
I had them on my top 10 because of their health. Now they're losing guys, so this is my this is tough for them.
Real quick, AJ and Gabe, what did you think of Angel sneaking the Texans back into number 10 after?
I don't know. This heavenly 10, man. the criteria just shifts up and down, left and right.
Listen,
there's 6, 8,
but I love
5
it every
teams.
time.
There's 6, 8-5 teams, and sure enough, the Houston Texans are the one that slipped in.
You
There's
gotta
just
pick the
always
one
going to
that-
be a nice coach. There's
Yeah.
always going to be a nice little cozy spot for the Texans when it comes to Angel.
AJ, the Eagles dropped from like 3 to out of the list because AJ Brown got hurt. He only missed 1 week. It took him to like week 12 to get back.
The Eagle tax is being repurposed over to the Texans.
It's messed up. This sucks for the Texans, though. It's been a disaster, not disaster season, but a huge letdown.
Disappointing season.
Disappointing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge letdown. We were literally arguing like, are they on the cusp of a Super Bowl, or are they just more like AFC Championship type guys? Like we all thought a lot of them, even though some of us thought more. And for them to kind of fall flat on their face here so far, I mean, they have time to right the ship, but so far, not what we had hoped, not what we imagined, and they'll be without their starting safety. Let's keep it moving here. Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson announced tight end Evan Engram will undergo season-ending surgery with a torn labrum. Gabe, this is pretty much just season's over. Let's start getting those surgeries in and look ahead to next year, right?
I mean, what else is there to look forward to there?
It's actually also surprising. You said Doug Peterson still making an announcement.
Yeah.
That guy's still over there with that kind of power.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he's just he's taking advantage of every mic opportunity that he can get before it's over. Yeah.
I feel
Well,
like this is much worse though. It's like torture, knowing good and well like it's coming, just not as fast as you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just torturing the guy. Oh, well.
Poor guy.
Dolphins are waiving wide receiver Odell Beckham. Per NFL Network, both sides agreed to part ways will be beneficial on the year. OBJ has 9 catches, 55 yards. Pretty much an afterthought, a non-factor, not consequential at all for the Dolphins. I don't know. Odell Beckham going to a contender. AJ, does it mean anything?
It doesn't mean anything at all. I honestly forgot he was still in the league playing for the Dolphins. The guy just, unfortunately, he hasn't been the same since his Super Bowl injury, right?
Right.
Torn ACL. He's not going to be a difference maker no matter where he goes.
That being said, Angel, top option for Odell Beckham.
A couple of AFC teams I thought about. Pittsburgh. I was looking for another wideout.
Oh, yeah, they could really use him.
The Los Angeles Chargers, desperate need for a playmaker, just out of necessity. Then NFC-wise, Tampa Bay. They lost Godwin. They might need some more talent. Couple spots there. He's not a difference maker, or not a big difference maker, but he'll affect coverage, I think, or something. He'll do something positive.
I don't know what he expected going to the Dolphins. Like, bro, what did you expect? Like, what kind of role did you expect on the Dolphins?
Yeah, it's. Yeah. You hate to see his career kind of this tail off like this, but
he was one of the best to start, and just injuries.
Yeah. And even his little stint with like the Rams, I think that's what he was trying to like relive over and over and over again. But just like AJ said, he just never recovered after that injury.
Yeah. Real quick, while we're talking about great receivers, prayers up, of course, for Randy Moss, right?
Yeah.
Randy Moss dealing with cancer. Tough to see. A whole NFL community. It's like, whoa, that's because when a superhero gets a chink in the armor, it's like I didn't know he was even mortal.
Exactly.
So, prayers up for Randy. Let's move ahead here. Broncos and left tackle Garrett Bolles, 4-year, $82 million contract extension with $86 million upside, $42 million guaranteed. Bolles gets locked up as Bo Nix's protector. Angel, Garrett Bolles, long term. What do you think?
I like it. This is just Sean Payton from day one has emphasized the offensive line and securing that. Those 5. He hasn't been great in his career, but he's been doing great and good. He's never been like an All-Pro, but he's I think he's been second team All-Pro, I think one time. But he's a good tackle, and they're playing well there. So keep the vibes going. I love it as a Bronco fan. Just left tackle is just done. He'll have some bad games, but more good than bad.
Yeah, it's tough. It was tough to know when Sean Payton started in Denver. Like, who are the cornerstones? Because I feel like anyone can get cut at any moment, and it just kind of depends on who does Sean Payton like, and that's kind of how they figured out Garrett Bolles surviving the cut there. Chiefs designate kicker Harrison Butker to return from IR. Harrison Butker and that wonderful beard is back kicking for Kansas City. You got to imagine with them not scoring a lot and playing great defense, he's going to have some big moments to finish the season and in the playoffs. So Harrison Butker, aside from his contributions to America,
American hero,
back in the NFL. And I'm actually pretty surprised how good we're being about that. But bigger Chiefs news, something I didn't expect. Chiefs wide receiver Hollywood Brown has received final clearance to practice, paving the way for him to play before the regular season ends, which I think is very important. We'll get into that in a second. Brown, who is recovering from surgery to repair his SC joint, should have his window open Friday. It is Friday. He did have his window open, got the final clearance, and he's going to start practicing, and he's going to play here soon in a game. So, I mean, I'll throw it to AJ. AJ, Hollywood Brown come back for the Chiefs. Like, how much should we react to this here? Like, a big deal?
I think this is a big deal just for the fact that the Chiefs have just not been putting points up on the board. Hollywood Brown is a guy they brought in to do that, to be that guy to catch these deep bombs, and he's even shown he's a bit more than that in recent years. In Arizona, I mean, he finished games with 10, 12 targets. Quickly though, explain the 21-day window. Does that mean at any point in these 21 days he can come back, or does he have to wait until the end of the 21 days?
Nope, 21-day window. So now they have 3 weeks to decide whether or not he's going to be activated off IR, depending on how he performs in practice and responds medically to the upped tempo, the upped workload. And so they'll have 3 weeks to decide if this guy
That'd be huge if they could get him back like week 16. Have a couple regular season games to ramp up, and then have him for the playoffs. Jeez.
Also, I think it probably is important that he spent so much time with Patrick Mahomes preseason. Like, he had a preseason. They threw a lot with Patrick Mahomes. Maybe that will come in handy too. Gabe, the Chiefs with Hollywood Brown back, did they retake the favorite for the AFC over the Bills? I'm guessing.
I mean, it's like just a perfect time for this to happen because a lot of teams have all this film on the Chiefs right now. They're kind of figuring out that the Chiefs are there's a ways to beat them. Now you're getting this brand new toy right before the playoffs. The brilliance of Coach Reed there. He's going to be able to draw brand new schemes. This is not so much a Hollywood Brown thing as much as, to me, it's a Patrick Mahomes thing. He's just going to be able to do new things that we haven't seen them this year. So, I mean, it's a secret weapon, and it elevates the best player on your team, Mahomes. And it adds a whole new playbook to this team now, just different looks and different reads that no team has seen this year so far. So, I mean, it's going into the playoffs with it. It's going to be a lot of fun. You might not see explosion right off the bat. That might be something that they're, it's possibly going to be like a preseason, like week 1 and 2. You don't see nothing too fancy, but once you get into the playoffs, you might see like, holy crap, we're not prepared for this right now. So it's a great move for the Chiefs.
I wonder if it matters that his injury was an upper body injury. Like, he was able, to work out his legs, maybe not do anything that would move his body too much. But I'd imagine he's coming back in pretty good shape. Just being an upper body injury. 2 more stories here. They're both massive. Let's start with the GOAT, the greatest of all time to ever do it. Bill Belichick is the head coach for the University of North Carolina, the house that MJ built. Bill Belichick is going to go coach where his father coached in the 1950s, and he said he's looking forward to building a program. Bill Belichick's in the college ranks. Angel, we didn't believe it would happen, and here's Bill. Playing on
my man's going to build a program, all right.
If you ever were, this is, okay, a couple of things. I watched a Bill Belichick documentary where he has always been fascinated in all of the college game and how you develop players and that process. So that's cool to see him kind of fulfill his dream. And obviously, his dad coached there. But these poor kids, man. God. Listen, I understand it's Bill Belichick. I understand he's the greatest of all time. But some 17-year-old kid fresh off TikTok is come in there with this old man, his hot girlfriend, and not know what the hell is going on. I'm interested to see his interaction with a person born in 2010. I'm very curious to see. It's just funny. It's an odd fit. Old man, young college. College is always young. He said though he wants to build a program that's an NFL machine. That's nice. So teach them how to play football early on, how to act like a pro. That's fine, but it's gonna be pretty funny to see him yell at a bunch of kids. Some grumpy old man.
AJ, you're the only one who played college sports here. How would you approach this?
Whoa!
Would you be what, Angel? You didn't sniff college sports.
Intramural.
You barely played varsity in high school.
That's not true at all. I played varsity for 2 years. I know what you're talking about.
Credentials, or it didn't happen?
It's on.
No one has time for that.
Max Preps. Max.com.
AJ, if you're a college athlete, are you like, whoa, I'm scared of Bill Belichick? Or are you like some of these guys saying, I want to go play for the GOAT. I have a chance to be coached by Bill Belichick.
Honestly, you spend a lot of time with your college coach. I don't know what these guys are going to find in common with this man. Now,
a lot of awkward silence.
I think it depends on the type of kid coming in. If you're coming in like you've heard a lot of talk about like someone like Amari Cooper's work ethic. He shows up, he does the work, you don't hear from him, and the work shows up on the field. If you're somebody like that coming into college, then that's the place to go. That's where you're going to get developed, right? Yeah. But if you're coming in, and nothing wrong with this, you're coming in, trying to build a brand for yourself, and you want to do the social media thing while also excelling on the field. I don't know if Belichick's the guy for that.
I want to see him recruit. I want to see him in the NIL age. Like, I want to see how he does that. We know he can coach ball. We know that Bill Belichick knows football, and if he got people who just would believe in his philosophies, that they're going to have a successful team. It's just the college athlete nowadays has to be wined and dined. Like, you have college athletes just jumping around on just whoever's going to offer the biggest dollar, and so that's a new world for him to figure out. And I'm interested to see it happen. But that is hilarious. The thought of Bill Belichick and some 17-year-old kid. By the way, have you guys thought about what the conversations are going to be like in the locker room when his girlfriend comes in? 23-year-old.
Just like passing notes to each other. Like, would you smash Coach's wife?
Okay, is it if you're
like Coach's wife is hot?
If you're Bill Belichick,
Mark, yes or no?
If you're Bill Belichick, are you inviting her over when all the guys are there? Because
at all.
Do you want 5-star talent coming?
Yeah,
to
I am definitely inviting.
He's invited.
Baby girl, here we're put this.
I want you sitting right here with the tightest dress on.
That's dangerous.
Exactly.
You're not. You don't think you wouldn't be worried? Like, I'm an 84-year-old man, however old he is.
I'd be terrified. I'd be terrified because nowadays,
ridiculous shaped young guys that are still in her age group.
It's already millionaires. Already millionaires in her age group. Gonna be hot. Like, I'm not. I'm like, hey, you don't come anywhere near the facility. Can't have it. Won't have it.
I think my man Bill is going to be just fine. He's going to go to the college level. He's going to have a lot of eyes on him too. Post
Patriots Bill Belichick is fascinating.
Yeah, that's honestly why I don't like fully agree with you guys. What you guys' whole take on this? How he's not going to be a good fit there. I think he's changed since he's left the New England Patriots.
We'll see. I'm here for it. It's gonna be
also
fun.
Too. Just to add in like a quick thought too. I was thinking about this when you guys talking about that right now. How Tom Brady has been the loudest one when it comes to the college level kids adapting to the NFL level. Well, Tom Brady spent a significant amount of time with this coach. So I think Bill Belichick he could either be the laughing stock of college football, or he could start something pretty cool here. Where hey, look at what they're doing over there. Maybe we should try doing some of that here.
I think he's smart to go to North Carolina because there's no expectations there. Like they've never done.
That's anything. Also the other thing too. That's kind of like a good insurance move.
Yeah. Okay. Last story here. This is absolutely wild. 49ers are moving on from linebacker and Packer legend Devondre Campbell. Coach Kyle Shanahan said after he refused to go back in the game on Thursday night upon being out of the starting lineup, Shanahan said they're working out the semantics of how, but suspension is an option, as is release. Devondre Campbell. Gabe, this is Green Bay zone. I believe he was born and raised in Green Bay.
No, he wasn't.
Packer legend. But Devondre Campbell. Gabe, did this surprise you? Like you've had this guy like in your radar?
No, I mean it definitely surprised me because he didn't spend a lot of time in Green Bay, but when he did, he was first team all pro. He was a leader on and off the field. He was the guy that kind of was helping. He helped like there was Gary. He helped out, and I know Rashad Gary speaks very highly of him. He was like the leader of this team, and to think that like he goes elsewhere and just in the middle of the game says, "Okay, I'm done." It's so like backwards from what I know him to be. And again, he wasn't in Green Bay long, but I mean, he was a captain. He was an all-pro. He was exactly what you want on your team. And now here he is, and I'm leaving in the middle of the third quarter. It shocked me.
So we see what happened here. Like he didn't start because last night Dre Greenlaw returned. And Dre Greenlaw, of course, was a great linebacker there before. The reason why they got Devondre Campbell.
But yeah, which by the way is the way it was supposed to take
Greenlaw looked healthy. He looked great. He looks like he should be starting. It wasn't like he was a bum out there. And so Angel, Devondre Campbell out on the streets, a good linebacker, all pro last year. If he comes to the Broncos, are you excited or not?
This guy quit on his team. No way.
Don't
do that.
In the most important game of the year.
And then at that point, the Niners only had 2 linebackers on the roster, so you were in need of a linebacker. He just walked to the field. That's as disappointing as when Antonio Brown walked off the field. It's the same thing. You quit on your team. You have the heart of a freaking loser. You walked off on your team that need. I don't know how you spent all year with these group of guys. You've been through battle, especially this team. They've been through hell together. Everyone's hurt. Disappointed season. Halfway through a game, like I'm out. That's just I hope this guy never sees the NFL again. That's disrespectful to the NFL, to players who work very hard to get on active rosters. There could be an active practice squad roster guy on the roster yesterday, just happy to be out there. But no, this guy's on there. This clown.
That is the news, guys. I went as fast as I could through that because we have a lot of games to get into. It's a huge weekend of football when it comes to playoff seeding and all that to go forward. So let's take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get into week 15. Be right back.
Where are you with Will Levis? Will Levis is definitely a backup. I mean, there's a lot of backups in the NFL who should be starting over him.
Who's that?
I mean, Denver has 2 of them: Stidham and Zach Wilson over Will Levis. Zach Wilson is better than Aaron Rodgers.
Zachy Dubs?
You're out of your mind to say you are deep in the Mile High Kool-Aid. I don't have a conversation anymore because you're saying crazy stuff. You're saying crazy things, Terrell. Backups. I'm saying the Jets were better with Zach Wilson than they are with Aaron Rodgers.
We're not talking about that, Terrell.
So he's not that
That's
bad.
a different conversation. This is what happens when Terrell misses 2 shows. He doesn't make up for all of these. And another thing, I've been saving this super hot Zach Wilson take. Zach Wilson needs to be a starter again.
All right, week number 15 is here. We're going to dive into the games. Let's start, of course, with Thursday Night Football. They got us started with a huge divisional game. But let's dive into this Rams-Niners game real quick. The Rams do win 12-6. Defensive battle. I don't know. Angel, what stuck out to you about this game?
Cooper Kupp having 0 points for fantasy playoff.
First thing you think of.
First thing that stuck up to me. The second thing is I feel so totally vindicated when I said that Puka Nacua is one of the greatest wideouts in the league. He very much is. And the Niners are cooked. The Niners are done. This season, it's done.
You know what stood out to me is Deebo Samuel. After this man went out there and said, I'm not struggling, I'm just not getting the ball. The man proceeds to play like absolute ass. And all cherry on top was that one slant that would have gone to the house. Like that would have gone all the way. Hits him right in the chest, right in the hands, and drops it. And they booed him. They booed Deebo Samuel last night in Santa Clara. Like the Niners are having a disaster season. They have no one to kind of right the ship. They have no one to prop it up. CMC's not, obviously not available. The only guy that's really having a great season that we can, have grown to depend on him is tight end George Kittle. That's it. So Niners, they're done, right? 6-8. Even in that division.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Rams.
See you later.
Rams 8-6 now. That's very exciting. Of course, you got to remember last week of the season, they have that game against the Seahawks. They have a much easier schedule till then. The Seahawks have a crazy schedule. So we'll see how that plays out, but that's looking like it's going to be a fun finish. Let's jump into these previews. Let's start with Chiefs and Browns. Chiefs at 12-1. Browns at 3-10. AJ, who you got?
It's 12-1 against 3-10. I stopped picking against the Chiefs a long time ago. Yeah, they doinked in one for the win last week. Yeah, they blocked a field goal for another win. Yeah, they the missed snap for the Raiders got them. They're 12-1. The Browns are 3-10. There's a reason.
Angel, who you got?
I'm taking Kansas City, but Cleveland's gonna make it close. I think it's gonna be a blowout. But like every game is a close game for the Chiefs.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabe, who you got? Come on.
Chiefs. Let's just move to the next one. It's Chiefs. I don't want to waste time on this one.
All right. I was gonna maybe think about picking the Browns, but you guys are probably right.
Pick them. No, good. Pick them.
Chiefs. Yeah, I'm going Chiefs. Okay, moving on here. Bengals and Titans. Bengals, the most unlucky season of all time, but they did win last week against the Cowboys, right? And so they are technically alive. And with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, you always have a shot. Even though this is the first week where I've heard them start to talk about the future more than just we're just thinking about next game. Like we got the T. Higgins talk this week from Joe Burrow, which is interesting. But let's pick this game. Bengals, Titans. We'll start with you, Angel.
Yeah, actually, I'm picking Tennessee here.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like Tennessee. Tennessee's a good football team. I think the Bengals lose these kinds of games, so I'm gonna take Tennessee here.
Gabe, who you got?
No doubt about it. I am ready to get hurt again. The Bengals are taking this one, baby. I cannot stop believing in this team. I have to believe in them. I'm gonna go with the Bengals here.
Don't stop believing, Gabe. AJ, who you got?
5-8 Bengals.
Hey, with the Bengals still alive, honestly, I don't even have to look at the schedule. I'm picking them to win out the rest of the season.
There you
go. This is what they do every single year. Obviously as long as they stay healthy. But if Bengals stay healthy, I got them winning out.
I'm going Bengals as well. So we got 3-1 here with the Bengals. I'm also going to say this: Joe Burrow should be getting consideration for the MVP. Yep. 100%. He has been one of the most. He's having maybe one of the best year of his career.
Yeah,
he's been incredible. Jamar Chase has been incredible. He should also probably be at least on the list. I wouldn't pick him, but he's having an amazing season, going for the Triple Crown in the receiver ranks. So yeah, I got Bengals as well. Let's move on here. The Commanders and the Saints, 8-5 versus 5-8. Jake Haener named the starter for the Saints this week. I'm gonna go Commanders. Who's next?
Commanders.
They stay alive. They'll most likely here move to 9-5. And
although the Saints keep accidentally winning.
Okay, that was a thought I had in my mind too. Right? I could see them accidentally winning this game, being screwing up everyone's picks this week.
Well, and every go ahead, Angel. No, I'm just go ahead, Angel. Go ahead.
Can't you see the Commanders being the one good team, or not the one, but one of those good teams that the Saints just find a way to beat?
That's true.
Not this Saints.
They're weird.
Saints team is so bad.
Saints are weird though.
They're so weird.
Hey, the Commanders are going to be the.
If you're a Rams fan, you're cheering for the. Well, they actually, if they lose this game, they'll be tied with the Rams at 8 and 6 currently. So the Commanders need to win. They need to win these games.
Yeah, remember when I told you guys Commanders were a bunch of phonies?
You did.
I did. Okay, Ravens 8-5 versus Ravens are 8-5. Jeez, versus the 2-11 Giants.
Shame on you.
I'm going Ravens here.
Let's go.
I'm gonna go Ravens because the Giants are just so bad. I believe Tommy DeVito's back in the saddle this week.
Yeah, Ravens by a mile.
I'm funny. I love Tommy DeVito, man.
Derrick Henry is going to be.
He's going to have 800 yards this game.
God, I hope so.
Let's just pick it and move on because there are good games I want to talk about. AJ, who you got?
Ravens.
Gabe?
Ravens.
All right, clean sweep here for the Ravens. Cowboys, Panthers. Oh, God.
Easy game to pick. I know exactly
the Panthers
what
I'm going with
it too. Yeah,
I think we're all on the same page here.
Oh, wow, the Cowboys are.
Yes.
Yep.
Panthers. Carolina.
We all are going Panthers here.
Yep.
Holy crap.
Bryce Young's rebirth is real. He's balling out against everyone. Eagles were the number one pass defense last week. And he, for a large part of the game, picked him apart. Now, let's pump the brakes. He didn't pick on my boy Quinyon because no one picks on my boy Quinyon and Mobay. But, are you guys buying the Bryce Young rebirth? No?
Yes. Yeah, I'm buying it as he has one more year to prove himself. But yeah, he's shown that he can take it on the chin. Obviously, he got benched. Now he's back. He's playing good ball. So yeah, if there's a draft pick there and they have a quarterback on the board and a wideout, pick the wideout. Don't pick the quarterback.
So we need to check on the Red Rocket. That car accident. We haven't seen him since.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
Has he been in the games? Have you seen him?
He got fucked up. Apparently, he is not on the field.
I don't want to joke about this. This is don't go there.
All right, let's move on before I just say something crazy. Jets and Jaguars. They're both 3-10.
So help me God.
It's a terrible game. I'm sorry if you're a Jets and Jaguars fan, but
I know who I'm picking.
At this point, God, Mac Jones versus Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not sure which one's better. I'll go Jets because they look better last week, and the Jags are pretty bad, and they have a hard time scoring with Mac Jones. But I'll go Jets here, and I don't feel good about it, and I'll move on. Gabe, what you got?
I got the Jags, man. The Jets are gonna find a way to lose this one. It's
Yeah.
it's their personality this year. You got to keep that up. We're in December. This is just who the Jets are. They're gonna find a way to lose this game.
I second what Gabe said. I'm picking the home team, Jacksonville.
AJ.
What a time in the season for the 3-10 Jets to meet the 3-10 Jags and truly prove if they're really this bad.
Yeah.
So I'm picking the Jets, but good.
I mean,
they lose.
I mean, not that you need more proof, but this, just like you said, this will really put it in there. This is
the final nail in anybody's coffin. They still got one for the Jets.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Damn, do I need to switch to the Jaguars? I might need to. Yeah, I'm switching to the Jaguars. I got Jaguars here, clean sweep. All right, massive game in the AFC. We got to talk about here. Dolphins and Texans, 6-7 versus 8-5. Both these teams not secured in the playoffs yet. Although Texans have a pretty good, track to win the division, so a little more likely there. Dolphins, Texans. Dolphins have been on one for the last couple of weeks. Tua's kind of back. Last week they put the smackdown on the Patriots. Kind of looked like the old Dolphins. Let's start with Gabe. Texans, Dolphins. Who you got?
Just kind of going with what I just said about the Jets right now. These personalities of these teams, they don't seem to be changing at all. This is a big game. I know we don't have a lot of faith in the Stroud. I know Angel does, but in Stroud and the Texans. But these are the kind of games that when it matters most, Miami simply just does not win most of the time. I'm gonna take. I like the Texans here.
Angel, who you got?
Houston. No contest.
I don't know why you asked them.
Mainly because of who the Dolphins are rather than who the Texans are. Dolphins just choke these games. I don't trust them at all. I'm thinking Houston.
I don't know how Houston has built up so much trust, and I don't know. Honestly, AJ, who you got?
Man, I keep going back and forth with this one. Gabe and Angel almost convinced me, but I'm going to stick with my pick. I'm going with the Dolphins here. I think everything you're saying about the Dolphins, we can also say about the Texans this year. I think the Texans are showing us who they might be, and the Dolphins have nothing to lose. I'm going with Miami here.
Yeah, I'm going Dolphins as well. I think they get to 500, and I think the Dolphins, I think they play similar brands of football. Both these teams kind of need to outscore you, and I think the Dolphins are just better. I think they have better weapons, and I think they have a better quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa. So, I mean, we'll see. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Shut your damn mouth. Shut your damn mouth.
Listen, man.
Shut your damn mouth.
Tua is. Listen, we're not gonna have a conversation right now. We'll wait for Terrell because he hates missing these. But we need to have the Tua CJ Stroud conversation. Concussions not to be mentioned.
So we switched from
that's going to be next year. So now Stroud has to prove that he's better than Tua. Why is it always Stroud that has to go up to the mound?
Purdy's up here competing with Mac Jones out here. So yeah, so let's do Stroud and Stroud.
Put up or shut up. All right, we got the Colts and the Broncos here. And Angel, can you explain, you probably do better than me, the playoff scenario implications, because it's massive.
Yeah, so basically I'll do it percentage-wise is the easiest way to grasp it. The Broncos lose, they only have a 48% chance of making the playoffs. If they win, it's 90%. Huge drop-off there. If the Colts lose, they have a 7% chance of making the whole playoffs. If they win, 54. So there's still a lot of room to go. Very important game for the Colts. A very important game for the Broncos, who, like I said earlier in the show, they have the Colts this week, and next week the Chargers, same record as us, fighting for a wild card. Huge games for the whole AFC. But this is a very big hinge game for the AFC. Are these two teams playing right now?
All right. That being said, Gabe, this is a playoff game. Who you got?
I said it. If they took last week, I'm gonna ride with them for the rest of the year. I like the Broncos here. I think the Broncos are, this is a statement game. May not be a great opponent on the other side as far as their record and what they do, but this is a statement game. This is a playoff-like game, and the atmosphere is going to be buzzing. These are the games that you need to win. Broncos.
Yeah, I'm with you here. I'm going Broncos, and I think Vegas has kind of seen that as well. They're -5. I think the Broncos are going to win here. I think the Broncos look like the real playoff team here, and the Colts at the end of it don't look like the real playoff team. I'm going Broncos as well. Ainge, you going with your boys?
Yeah, home team. I think this is the start of our march to the playoffs. I'm gonna be very nervous, very nerve-wracking to see this game. If we lose this game, it's gonna be pretty terrible. But I think we win this game by at least a touchdown. It's gonna be close though, because Anthony Richardson's been on a bit of a heater though.
90% chance to make the playoffs, like you said, if they win this game. The massive game, one of the biggest games, I think, in Sean Payton's career so far with the Broncos. So we'll see how they respond. I expect them to respond well. I think Bo Nix has been, if nothing else this year, he's been unflappable. He's been calm.
Yeah.
He's been steady. He's shown that he's played a lot of football, and he doesn't really get, moved. I think Drake May kind of has the same character traits. But, we're all going Broncos. I'm not sure what AJ's pick is, but let's move ahead here to, this is
Super Bowl.
These are the kind of games that make you love football. Like, this is just, there's going to be talent, world-class, all-pro talent all over the field as the Lions at 12-1, number 1 seed in the NFC, host the Buffalo Bills. This is, they're talking about Ravens, Eagles as a Super Bowl preview. If I were to put my money on anything, I'd put, I love the Eagles, obviously, my Eagles. I think this is the most likely Super Bowl preview here. The Bills and the Lions.
Yeah.
Both these teams are on a heater. Lions are at home. I think at this time of year, that really, really, really matters. I'll pick last here. Ainge, why don't you get us started?
Yeah, tough game to pick. You gotta love both these teams because you both kind of know their identity. Their team knows their identity. They kind of know who they are. They both been through some injuries. They have MVP candidates on both sides. I am picking though, just because it's the home team. I'll pick Detroit here. Am I confident in it? No, because I like the Bills a lot. But I'm picking the home team. That's the only reason why. They're both really good. This is A+ and A+ teams. Really good matchup. Can't wait to see on the field.
I should do this for Angel's pick, but I'll do it right now. I think we're pretty much full health for both teams here, except obviously Aiden Hutchinson. But as far as the people that are questionable still, except for Rasul Douglas, he's still out. I'm not sure if he's been out for a while, but I did see that Dalton Kincaid will be back, so that's a kind of a boost for the Bills, as well as there's one other guy who's kind of questionable. Might be Taylor Rapp, but I'm not sure. But yeah, pretty good health here. Gabe, who you got?
I'm going to let this quarter decide who I'm going to get here because I really do not know who to pick here. So heads the Bills, tails the Lions. It's heads. I got the Bills right here.
Wow.
I got the Bills right here, and the way I was going to do it was whoever it lands on, I'll make a case for them. I think what we saw from the Lions last week against the Packers is that the running game can be a little bit flawed with that defensive line being hurt, even though they did great pass rush. Josh Allen is on another planet right now.
Yeah.
I think the running game can decide. And hey, how do you take that? How do you take that Lions crowd out of the game? Keep that offense off the field. I think Josh Allen does that best, and I think he probably does it better than anyone in the NFL. I'm gonna go with the Bills here.
It's a tough game to call because Josh Allen is matchup proof in the sense that it doesn't matter that he's away.
There's nothing you can do to stop him. Yeah.
It doesn't matter he's away in Detroit. He's just gonna feel faster. The man does not blink. He recently got engaged, and so he's feeling top of the world right now. Nothing could stop him. I think right here, this is the moment this year. We've been waiting on Josh Allen because he hasn't really had a moment. Like, they beat the Chiefs, and that was a big thing, but the Chiefs are obviously down this year. I think this is Josh Allen's MVP moment when he goes and balls out against Detroit Lions. Lions are beat up, and I think it catches up to them. Because the Bills are a smash mouth football team. James Cook's having a career year. Josh Allen's, I think, the MVP, and I think they just come at him in waves. And I'm gonna go with the Bills here. I think this game, even though Lions obviously are going to have two 1,000-yard running backs. I think the first time since that great Panthers duo was that Stewart and Williams. And we talk about the Lions like crazy. It's going to be a great game. I think a less than 7 finish, less than 3 finish maybe. But I'm going to go Bills here. But, geez.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if the Lions get rolling, how the Bills defense can respond. I'll be looking out for the Bills defense on how tough they can be against a very good, very complete, balanced Lions team. Offense.
Yeah, you read my mind. That's what I was about to ask you guys next. Like, what is the pivotal matchup between units, between players? whatever it is. What's the pivotal matchup here? To get you guys think about that, I'll get started. I think this front seven against Josh Allen, to me, is can they control him? Can they get him off the field? I don't think they'll be able to. I think Josh Allen will control the other side, even though DJ Reader will be back. And who else were they missing last week? I think another defensive lineman. They're both back this week. I don't think it matters. I think Josh Allen controls them. What's your key matchup? Gabe?
Yeah, mine would be.
Or Angel, sorry.
Go ahead, Gabe.
Well, no,
Well,
I mean,
like I said,
here, I'll go ahead and answer. Just to like kind of mimic what you said, but I said it too. Like I think that defensive front with the Lions, it's banged up. The Packers, I said, hey, look, they're not the team that can expose that. The Bills are that team that can expose that. Yeah. I don't think you're gonna stop a Josh Allen right now. I think that's gonna be the matchup that the Lions are gonna have to win if they want to stay in this race. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Josh. I mean, I hate the Lions, but I also appreciate what they got there is great. But I think Josh Allen can actually beat them here.
Before you answer, Angel, I'll give it an extra point to what Gabe just said. The Packers struggled with staying disciplined and running the ball. Joe Brady will not struggle with that. He will run the ball. He has no problem having that kind of offense. The more boring, the better for Joe Brady. So I think they're going to get a steady dose. James Cook and Josh Allen, RPO, all that. Angel, key matchup.
Yeah, it'd be the Bills defense, like I said, against the duo of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. So you have to see if this team can – if you can take away the run game, my game plan would be let's see what Jared Goff is without a strong play action, without a threat. That's what I would want to see if Buffalo can be tough enough up front to stop this dynamic. Maybe not even stop them. Maybe that's not possible. Maybe slow them down enough to make them feel human again. And they feel like, okay, they can't just get 5 yards whenever they want. They earn every yard. That's my team matchup. Obviously, Matt Milano's back. This is his second week back. He might knocked off the rest last week. So looking forward to seeing that matchup. Completely juggernaut running game versus this Bills defense that's underrated this year. That's where I'd be looking at.
Welcome back, Matt Milano. You get the number one running duo in the NFL. But massive game. Cannot wait to watch this. There's so many good games on at the 125 hour. We're going to talk about another good one here next. My Philadelphia Eagles at home hosting the 10-3 Pittsburgh Steelers, the AFC North leading Pittsburgh Steelers with Russell Wilson, who we kind of consensus voted the 6th best quarterback in the AFC. Steelers going into Philly, obviously have my thoughts. Vegas has Eagles by 4.5 points. All-time series record 48-29 in by way of Philadelphia. The battle for Pennsylvania. Gabe, who you got?
I said this to you a couple of days ago. I don't think this game's even going to be close. I think the Steelers have to have every little thing go right in order for them to win games right now, which isn't a bad thing because, I mean, that's kind of how their quarterback is. That's the personality of their quarterback. Everything has to kind of be fall in place. Everything has to go right. Philly is not that kind of team. Philly is not the kind of team that, you're going to be able to do what you want to do whenever you want to do it. Philly's going to score fast, and the Steelers are going to have to try to keep up with that. And they're not going to be able to. I think that they're very much they're a handicapped team when it comes to these high-scoring teams. So I think Philly's going to grab an early lead, and they're just never going to look back. I know it's disrespectful. I know we love the Steelers and what they're doing there, but the Steelers, they're not prepared for this type of game. The Eagles are gonna punt. They're gonna fly away with this one very fast.
Nice. Worth noting, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be without their number one weapon. George Pickens is gonna miss his 2nd game in a row, and so no George Pickens, which was kind of the concern when Russell Wilson took over. We saw this works, Pickens from Russell, but what happens when you don't have Pickens? Because that seems like that's all they got. Angel, is that enough for you to pick the Eagles?
Yeah, I'll pick the home team here. I'll pick Philly. I love this Pittsburgh Steelers team. I think they're overachieving beyond my expectations. But this was, like you said, this was my worry. Pickens, if he gets crossed out of the game, or in this case, if he's not in the game, where do you go to? Last week, they made it work with Freiermuth had a touchdown last week. They made it with a running game. This Philly defense is strong enough to shut out Freiermuth as a number one option. And this Eagle front is pretty good. I'm picking the Eagles here, probably by a decent margin, just because I don't know how they're going to score.
For some reason, I'm just not confident about this game. I was confident against the Ravens. I was confident against the Commanders. For some reason, this feels like the type of game that Mike Tomlin wins. When he's a massive underdog, when he has no one to win with, I'm going to go Eagles, but I think it's a very close, low-scoring game. And I will be honest, in the back of my mind, kind of feeding this nervousness is the drama that's happening in the Eagles locker room this week. Like, to me, it's a crux in the season for me because we know what happened last year. They started the season last year, if you guys remember, with 10 wins. Like they started the season that way as well. And so I'm getting a little bit of PTSD with at 11-2, all of a sudden there's locker room problems. And all of a sudden guys aren't friends. And I think it was overblown a little bit. But I'm also in the back of my mind like, are we going to hold it together here? Or is this where we fall apart? Because last year is just last year. And I remember how that went down. I'm going to pick the Eagles. I don't think it's a blowout. I think it's a close, lower-scoring game. And I'm a little nervous that the Eagles are going to react too much to the drama that's happened with A.J. Brown and not rely on Saquon Barkley as much as they should. And that could get them in trouble fast. I think that's when Jalen Hurts starts turning the ball over. And this Steelers defense has a -17 turnover ratio. Eagles at just +4. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I'm a little nervous. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting, but I don't know.
You're right though. Tomlin, this is kind of his kind of game. Like, hey, let's gather around Russ Wilson and this run game and Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, and let's play good defensive ball, which they will. Curious to see TJ Watt against Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. He's playing again, right? So that'd be fun to watch. So yeah, I like good matchups around here, but Philly's defense is too strong for this. Pittsburgh offense.
I guess that's kind of the point that I was making though. You were saying that like the Steelers are going to do this, they're going to do that, but that's if Philly starts off slow. What if Philly starts off fast? The Steelers only have one gear in this game, and it's everything has to go right for them in order to win this game.
Eagles are 11-2, and they haven't started fast all year. They just scored their first touchdown in the first quarter like 2 weeks ago. That's why
starting fast to the Eagles is a lot different than starting fast to like, a Browns or a Bears. Like I think the Eagles can, fine. If the Eagles let's say they don't score a single point in the first quarter. The Eagles are the kind of team that can score 21 points, before the half, like easily.
Yeah, I hope so. I think there are paths to Steelers' success offensively. I don't think the running game is going to work. I think we're pretty solid there. But listen, Russ has shown he has the deep ball. And I know in a Vic Fangio offense, they don't give up big plays. And so maybe, that's my saving grace. But I'm a little nervous just because I think the drama. But yeah, I'll stop rambling on that. It's obviously a big deal to me this week. Patriots and Cardinals. Let's move on here. Patriots at 3-10. Drake May, greatest season, A, B, C, or D?
B. I think he has some. Sometimes he has some messy footwork. I see a lot of Patriots games. Sometimes he has messy footwork. Sometimes he relies too much on his athleticism, but that's very minimal compared to what his talent is and what the potential could be. Very excited about him, but this is a loss for them. They have no weapons. The offensive line is shit. Head coach, I don't like Jared Mayo. But Drake May, solid. I think great pick.
Drake May just under 1,700 yards, 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. It feels better than that, but I can't help to just get back to the fact that the leading receiver on the year is Hunter Henry.
Yeah, and
Hunter Henry has 1 touchdown. So they
did a disservice to his 3 quarterbacks. So 100%.
Let's show over to the other side. Gabe, you're a big Cardinals guy, obviously big Kyler Murray guy. Are you going with the Cardinals here?
I mean, you kind of have to look at the way that division is going. If the Cardinals could snag a win here, even at 500, they snag a win here, they're right back in the race.
Yeah, because
seeing the way,
go
ahead. Well, no, I was just saying, like, seeing the way the Rams just performed. You see the Niners, that's probably a team that they could scratch off their list now. I think this is the kind of game that the Cardinals say, hey, guys, look, we may not be everyone's, we may not be the hot girl, but we could still be in the dance if we just take it 1 week at a time. And this week, it's against a team with, you just said it. There's no options at like the wideout spot. A rookie quarterback that's, he's very, I don't want to say limited, but yeah, he is. I think there's a game that the Cards can actually win, even though it's like, God, how many times am I going to pick the Cards before I learn my lesson that they're going to let me down this time of the year?
Yeah, I mean, if the Cardinals win, they're 1 game behind first place.
Yeah,
and so I mean, it's interesting.
It's every reason to win right now. I mean, you're not out of it.
Yeah, we'll go Cards, and looking forward to the Patriots. Hopefully, having a great offseason, building around Drake May. Real quick, there's some hot seat rumors going on about Jared Mayo. Like he's coaching for his job this last couple of weeks.
Good.
That's warranted,
he's
right?
a terrible head coach.
Yeah.
Good. He's a terrible head coach.
This is the guy who said, I can't do anything for my guys once they're on the field.
Yeah, hey, I don't
what are you
coach
talking
on the
about?
field. You can coach them. Stupid. What are you talking about? Get Rabel as a head coach here, change the whole franchise around.
Yeah. Oh God. I love Coach Rabel, and I've imagined him in several different teams. This is the spot.
Yeah.
Like New England understands him. He is that crotchety Northeast, Boston douchebag. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think he would fit so well. He understands the culture. He's obviously a legend. He was part of the greatest run in maybe sports history. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that's a great fit. But we'll keep an eye on Jared Mayo because those rumors are starting to pop up, even though he was supposedly groomed for this. But I don't know. All right, let's move on here. Bucks at 7-6, facing off with the Chargers at 8-5. Bucks fighting for that playoff berth. I think they're tied now, or sole possession of the NFC South.
They're currently
I got
they have
6 and 7 here.
They're in first place, 7-6. Yeah.
Okay. So obviously they want to put some distance between them and the Falcons and kind of just put it to bed while they hopefully can. Unfortunately, this is a tough draw. Chargers at home. Although, Angel, you seem to stay on this. You're not sold with them without J.K. Dobbins.
I think they're kind of deflating a little bit. I think we've seen them get hurt, and we've seen them kind of look human almost. So, and Tampa Bay is a team that's they're the one of the most aggressively ran offenses in the league with Baker Mayfield. I like this team a lot. I think this game is low scoring. I don't think there's a lot of points here, but I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pull it out in LA, which is basically the Tampa Bay Buccaneers home game. I'll take Tampa by like a field goal, but it's gonna be close. But I think Tampa wins this one. They're favored, right? No, the Chargers are favored by 3.
Yeah,
but
Chargers favored.
I take Tampa here.
I mean, which is basically a draw, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I'm gonna go Bucks as well. I believe in Baker, and I believe in just his will to win. And it's like a double-edged sword for me because Baker's gonna keep winning, and because of that, they're not gonna fire Todd Bowles. But I want to see what this would look like if they got a real coach and built a better roster around Baker Mayfield, what he could do, because the guy looks as good as any quarterback in the league at times. Mm-hmm. So we're all big Baker fans. Gabe, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Baker here. I kind of feel both teams are going the different direction right now. The Bucks getting healthier, the Chargers they're gonna get more beat up here. Baker is feeling that playoff magic right now. I gotta ride with the Bucks here.
Yeah. All right, let's move ahead here. Gabe, your Green Bay Packers at 9-4, taking on Seattle Seahawks. This game is in Seattle. It's on Sunday Night Football. Everyone's eyes will be on this. And I'm going to say it, the Packers need a win, and they need some style points. Like the Packers need to win over the belief of, not only their fan base, but me. And I think a lot of the NFL. I think the Packers are a team where I don't want to call them a disappointment because they're 9-4. Like it's the great record, I just need to see something to tell me that, hey, this team is a real problem in the playoffs. But that's just me. Angel, who do you think?
This is Seattle's obviously winners of 4 in a row, which is crazy because they've lost 4 in a row this season too. Seattle's an interesting team. I'm close to picking Seattle because of I'd rather pick the hot team than the more talented team. I think Green Bay's roster is a little bit more talented, but this one's a tough one. I think I'm picking the home team. To be honest, I think I'll take Seattle. I'll take the hot team. JSN breakouts for real. Oh wait, no, they're not. Take it back because they don't have Kenneth Walker this game. I'll take Green Bay.
Charbonnet's balling out.
I was gonna say, what's the difference?
I think there's a different. I think the different tier of running back there, but like not non-fantasy wise, Kenneth Walker sets a tone for this team. It's just this is a tough one. They're both good teams. They want to believe in it, but then they give you reasons to not believe in them. But I'll take Green Bay. You know what? Screw it. I'll take Green Bay.
Yeah, it is a tough game to pick because I think these guys are pretty evenly matched. Just two teams that, we're kind of just, they're winning,
Yeah. Like
they keep winning, so you can't be too down on them. I'm going to go with the Packers here and Jordan Love on the road. I think the Seahawks are not. I believe the Seahawks much less than I believe in the Packers and Jordan Love. If LaFleur can stay disciplined and just give the ball to hit their best offensive player, and it's not Jordan Love, it's Josh Jacobs. Feed the ball to Josh Jacobs. That's the best thing you have going on offense, and let Jordan Love work off play action. Also, we need to pay attention to Jordan Love against the blitz because he is really, really struggling against the blitz right now. I think ranked 30th in quarterback ranking against the blitz, 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's really struggled against the blitz, and so a good way to wear that down is run the ball right at it. Let him work off play action. Let him work on the boot. And I need to see some better play calling, but I feel comfortable with the Packers here. Gabe, take it away. It's your team. Go ahead.
Historically, not a good place for the Packers to play. I was looking at this today. We just can't win it in here. When we go to Seattle, you go get the 12th man. We all know the Bostic. We all know the 2013 year. Our history against this Seattle team is bad. But I'm bank. A lot of people, not me. In fact, on this show, I proved to you guys I'm not a part of this train. But a lot of people were giving the Packers some credit for the loss last week, just the fact that they could keep up with a Detroit. I guess there's some truth in there, maybe not. But I can't imagine this Packers team coming off a Detroit loss, the way they just performed, dropping this game. Because let's all stay true to what we were saying a couple weeks ago. We don't believe in this Seahawks team. Okay. I don't care if they won four games in a row. I saw them lose, or they won 4 games in a row. I saw them lose four games in a row. There has to come a point where we're gonna stay true to what we believe in here. I don't believe in this Seattle team. They're missing their running back, even though Charbonnet is awesome. I just don't see the Packers dropping this. And I will say this: if the Packers do drop this game, then I will. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure if they drop this game.
You almost got there. Gabe.
He was almost there.
It's just tough because if you look at the schedule that's coming up, we got the Vikings, I believe, the week after that, where you could potentially become a 500 team in less than 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot riding on this. I think the Packers, this is a prove it game. Our record against teams that are winning games is not good this year. But just like I said, I don't believe in the Seattle team. I believe the Seattle team is who we thought they are a couple weeks ago. I see the Packers winning this game, but would not shock me at all. I don't mean to sit on the fence. Just would not shock me at all if Seattle is able to sneak away with the win here.
Seattle's in a must-win situation. Like Angel said earlier, I think they're around 80% if they win to make the playoffs, and dropping all the way down to 50% if they lose. So, this is going to be a great game. Should be a very hard-fought game, and can't wait, man. Some great football on Sunday. Let's move ahead to the 2 Monday night games because they're going to do that again. And I don't know who made up this freaking idea, but please stop doing this.
It works every time. It pisses off everybody.
Bears, Vikings, and Falcons, Raiders are the 2 games that are going on. Bears, Vikings starts first. And so unless that game is just a blowout, no one's going to flip over to Falcons, Raiders, except for Andrew. But let's start let's start the Bears and Vikings. Bears had like a real quick like rebirth, but it was only like they're what's the word I'm looking for? Their like resurge was the fact that they almost won a game.
Yeah.
I forgot who it was against, but like their first game after the coach got fired, they like almost won the next week. And that's as good as they've looked like ever since. They keep dropping games. They're at 4-9.
Oh, it was against the Packers.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
You're right.
it was against the Packers.
And they've been trash ever since. They're 0-6 on the road. So not a single win on the road. And this Vikings team at home is always good. Like they're always good there. With that, they have a great home crowd. I'm going Vikings here very, very easily. And the Bears might have a top 10 pick come this April. Angel, who you got?
Yeah, I'll take Minnesota here. I think Minnesota really makes this Bears offense looks inept. It looks lost. It'll make it lost. I like Caleb Williams a lot. I like the roster a lot. I hate the direction it's going as far as coaching and schematically. Ryan Pace won't get fired. I don't think he should. I think he just picked the wrong head coach. So
Right.
I think his job is safe. And Minnesota, I want to see Sam Darnold keep it up against a good Bears defense. Keep proving me wrong, Sam. I want to keep stacking these good games against good defenses.
And that's fair because it's years of bad football from Sam Darnold. So
yeah, so you need to prove it. But Minnesota's defense is just phenomenal. And then Kevin O'Connell, we all know how I feel about that. He's just one of the better head coaches in the league.
Gabe, who you got?
You know, I've trusted Sam Darnold a whole lot more in recent weeks. You know, I had a lot of questions about him coming into the season. Then he kind of started off hot. Then he kind of went down a little bit. Now he's back hot again. But this is the kind of game. These divisional games are always really, really weird. The Bears, you know, they're just a nightmare. But if you get in one of those shootout games, that's what Caleb wants. Caleb wants to be in a shootout game. He could make. I mean, Caleb's not totally bad. With that being said, though, I think the Vikings are just, you know, of course they're not the Lions, but they're a well-oiled team. And as they keep
lubed up.
Yeah, just lube it up, just Diddy all over it. They're not gonna stop.
Just like Diddy.
Can't stop. Can't stop.
Won't stop. Well, they stopped him now.
Won't hold me down. Well, he's in solitary confinement.
He's stopped now. I'll tell you that. He's not doing nothing.
With all that being said, though, yeah, I do like the Vikings here. Caleb Williams, I know you guys don't like him, and that's fine, but I do find it, and this is such a Packer fan of me, I do find it fun when they're down to watch him play the hero ball, because that's who doesn't like to watch that kind of football?
Yeah.
And Caleb Williams, he's the guy that wants to be known. He wants to be known for being the hero ball guy. So it's fun to watch this Bears team in recent weeks.
Did you see that this week he said in a press conference that he went to his Bears teammates who have obviously suffered through some losing seasons and asked them advice on being a losing team because he never really faced that before.
That's great leadership, kid.
He's learning. He's a kid.
He's so funny, man. He's so quirky. This Bears defense is something to be noted of. In the first 7 games, they did not give up 20 points. Since then, the only team to not score 20 points, and they scored 19, was the New England Patriots. They've given up a lot of points to, good teams. It's a lot of points. 38 points last week to the Niners, who we saw just really struggle against the Rams. And so I don't think this Bear defense is playing the same ever since Eberflus is gone. Makes sense. And I think Sam Darnold has his way with them. All right, last game, guys. Falcons and Raiders. I think this game is in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, it's in Vegas.
Yeah, this game's in Vegas, so who knows what condition these players will be in, because they'll have all Sunday night to, whatever. Raiders at home, I don't think it matters. I think the Falcons do win this one, but I'm going to tell you, this could be in for Kirk if he doesn't.
Yeah, this is his last opportunity for me. If he can't beat the Las Vegas Raiders as they're reeling, as they keep losing, as the Raiders are trying to lose, if Kirk comes out or looks back and loses, even if he looks bad and wins, I'm out. I think the NFL window isn't as big as people think. You don't know how long it is that B.J. Robinson's going to be playing like this, that Drake London's going to be playing like this. You completely lost Kyle Pitts because of the ineptitude of the whole franchise, and Kyle Pitts just might be just that bad. I don't want a chance as a head coach. I'm not putting all my marbles into. Whoa, hold on. I'm not putting all of my trust into Kirk Cousins. I'm going to make sure that I give Penix a shot to make me look like a smart guy for taking Penix number 9 overall. Like that happened, and we still need to know why. If Kirk Cousins struggles, you put Penix in, Penix goes off, you look like a genius. I don't know. Kirk Cousins just has lost me completely. He just looks like a Peyton Manning in his last year. He's just lost it. He lost everything.
Angel's gonna give Michael Penix a shot at his marbles. That's all I heard.
I heard Penix and marbles and a lot of crazy stuff there. Ain't
you? Gabe, who you got?
Sorry, we were on the duty subject, and it just came to me.
Fair.
So I mean, look, we all have the Bucks taking the game early on in the afternoon. So I think by the time you get to this game the next day, start the offseason. I hate to be that guy, but I mean, if the Bucks win the previous day, probably going to go out with the division. You're not going to get the wild card spot at the way the Falcons are playing. You have a quarterback that you drafted this year. You're probably not going to move forward with the quarterback you have now. And you could probably, if you drop tomorrow night's game, or tomorrow night, if you drop the Monday night game, you could possibly, you're starting to get a better pick now as the week starts to go on. So I hate to be that guy, but it just looks like that's the way the Falcons, that's the way they're trending right now, where nothing seems to be going right. So now it's like, okay, if this is just what it's going to be from here on out, then we might as well embrace it and let's start prepping for next year. It's not like we don't have anything here prepared for not just next year, but the year after that. Like I said, they just got Penix. So yeah, I mean, let's start building from here. With that being said, I'm gonna take the Raiders. I don't think the Falcons are just.
Oh, I didn't choose. Yeah, never mind. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't think like the way the Falcons are playing right now, and if this division is kind of being settled the day before, I'm gonna take the Raiders here.
Angie, you taking the Raiders?
I'm taking Tampa. I'm taking Atlanta, but not very confidently.
I'm gonna take the Raiders. I think this is the scenario where the Raiders found themselves last year. They're out of contention. They're out of the playoffs. They're out of everything, and now they're just going to be underdogs. All the way out. Like we saw, Coach Pierce. God, why?
Yeah.
What's his first name?
Antonio
Pierce. Could not hack it as a good team. Like it could not work. Like as someone like who people saw coming. But I think as an underdog, by the way, don't undersell Desmond Ridder revenge game. I think the Raiders
undersell it.
I think the Raiders win this game though, and I think I'm scared for Kirk Cousins because the amount of frustration built up in Max Crosby right now is boiling over, and Kirk Cousins can't run away. Like this is like when you see on the Sahara the little injured, like gazelle kind of limping along. And you see a giant male lion just engulf him. Like he never had a chance. Yeah. And I'm a little scared for Kirk Cousins. I hope he makes out of this game healthy, let alone as a starter. And I'm with Angel. I think this is the beginning of the end for Kirk Cousins. And I voiced my concern with Michael Penix, like too much expectations being put on him. But it might just begin to a point here where it's like anything else would be better just to see if Michael Penix come out here and at least manage the game enough to win. But I think Raiders here, and I think this is beginning the end for the Falcons when the Bucks start to run away with the division. That is week number 15. I didn't feel like
good games.
Oh, I know why. The buys are gone.
Yeah, it's fully loaded.
Like it felt like a huge week. That's why.
We are fully loaded now. We're back on. Everyone's playing.
Guys, anything you want to mention before we sign off here?
No, just look forward to the obviously Detroit Buffalo game. Fantastic. But my Broncos, man, we got to win this one. And our playoffs start now. Indianapolis this week, Chargers next week, Thursday night.
I mean, all of our teams playing huge games this week. So hopefully we get a clean sweep in the bench studio, and Sunday night is a good vibe because when the Broncos lose, Terrell and Angel are very different analysts. So we'll see.
Yeah, maybe.
Gabe, anything else?
No, I mean, I don't want to touch too much on the Packers and what's going on there, but Jair Alexander out once again. Honestly,
what's wrong with him?
I mean, it sucks because when he's in, he's great. When he's not, he's which is the majority of the time, it just sucks. So Jair out once again. I don't know what I'm thinking. Like moving into next year, I'm not trying to move into next year already, but I'm just saying going into next year and the year after that, I don't know where I'm at with Jair anymore. I just don't know because it's not like, well, hold on, I don't want to say that's crazy, but I just feel like we do without him, and we're good and we're bad and we're good and we're bad. I think I just don't think we can rely on the guy like Jair Alexander anymore, and it bothers me. It bothers me that, Coach LaFleur, he had a comment today saying, yeah, I watched him all week long. He just doesn't look like he's there yet. He's been out for 3 weeks. What possibly happened to this guy? And it's not just this, man. It's like 3 weeks ago, it was the same thing. And early in October, it was the same thing. And last year, it was the same thing. Jair, he's one of those guys right now where I'm just like, is it possible to trade him and get something good going in? What do you do with Jair Alexander at this point? I don't know.
There's a real Pac-Man right here.
There's old Jair Alexander. It sucks that he's not playing these massive games for the Packers. Obviously, you can't rely on someone who's going to be out so much. Not to mention the other stuff that comes with Jair Alexander. I think they would be wise to look to add quarterback talent, and I think they've already started that process. I think they've already started bringing in guys. And, I think it was a mistake, and I know you had to pay him, but I think it was a mistake to trade Rasul Douglas. Like this is a game you could have really used Rasul Douglas because the Seahawks, the one thing they can do is go up and down the field throwing the ball. And so, Jair Alexander would definitely come in handy. It's a massive week of football, guys. You got the Packers, Seahawks, Bills, Lions, Steelers, Eagles, Bucks, Chargers, Broncos, Colts. It's a huge week of football, and it's going to be fun. We'll be back on Monday with a brand new show recapping Week 15, and maybe even looking forward again to Monday Night Football. That's all I got, guys.
That's it. Let's do it.
Have a good weekend, guys, and good luck to everyone in your fantasy playoffs. Later.
Peace.